everyone. The following content is based on people's personal experiences, whether it is paranormal or just plain scary. If this is something that you guys like, make sure to hit the notification button for more stories. Now, on to the stories. This story is from a user on Reddit called Afghani the OG. The title of this story is The Woman in the Sewers. One night my friend and me decided to smoke some weed and take a walk around the old walking mall. Walking there at night is usually peaceful until we were walking along the walkway and we heard someone walking below us in the sewer tunnels. So we decided to listen carefully at the drainage crate. Nothing was to be heard until we started walking and the splashes got louder and faster, so we ran and it followed us. We go to sit down on the fountain and then by this old metal bar window is a very creepy, very scary looking woman with big eyes and a long creepy smile with pointy long fingers pointing at us and smiling. According to my friend, when he seen her, he felt like his soul left him and fear he's never felt before, never going there again. The following 3 stories are from a Reddit user called Shoddy Housing. The story is not titled. I was with a couple of my friends. It was midday on a weekend. This happened not long ago, just before the coronavirus situation. We all crept through a slit in one of the walls. You have to climb to even be able to enter, and entered one by one. I had been there the most, so I went first. It was the same as before, or so I thought. We carried on playing hide and seek. I got onto the roof of a 2-storied factory. I climbed up on a table, then on a sort of metal ladder. All of a sudden, a loud metallic crash echoed, and me and my friend, who I was with, immediately looked down. Everything had fell. We didn't want to jump, and the floor may break or even hurt our ankle. We called for help, and our friends couldn't make it. We slowly lowered ourselves and dropped. I fell and looked to my left as everyone was there, but from behind them, a lanky figure peered at me, and me being a kid, I investigated with a bad ankle and narrow eyes as I felt like I was going to sleep. I walked towards the figure like it was leading me into a back room. The door slammed shut and turned heavy. My mates booted the door down to help me down to the ground floor. I saw a new area that I've never seen before. I went into another small entrance as all the others were blocked. There was a small bed, a chair with wheels, weird drawings, and then a bloody handprint. My mate said it wasn't there. I know what I saw. It worries me as I knew I saw it. We ran and I haven't returned since that day. School lockdown. This was a few years ago, but I was in computing when an alarm signifying lockdown went off and echoed through the hallways. We were told to hide under tables as the teacher locked the door. Me and my mates went into our own corner and we were joking, thinking it was another drill. We were talking quietly, making jokes, when all of a sudden a violent shaking of the door shut us up. The door was wooden and quite old. My mate and I booted the door before lightly, and it broke slightly so a man could easily break it. For this reason we just sunk into our own discomfort. We backed into the very corner. The girls closest to us were watching us as we were the kids who would joke and always be full of hope and be reassuring, especially in bad or stressful. These girls were looking at us blankly, like they were terrified. I knew they were. I told jokes to lighten the mood. They came over to us. I saw a man in the window of the door. I put my hand over the girl's mouth as she was about to speak. We watched in terror, and the door looked like it was about to come off the hinges. A few minutes later, a loud siren came through the door to tell us it was safe, but the teacher didn't unlock the door. I witnessed a man running away, and he looked back. We made eye contact. He shoved something into his pocket and carried on running. Field to abandoned building. I was walking on an empty field with a few friends. It was dark as it was winter. We all wore big coats. Nobody was on the field when we entered, but then we carried on walking. We decided to take a rest on a bench as we didn't want to keep walking. We watched as a group of people walked on the opposite side of the field. We didn't take no notice until a light lit their bodies up. They had hoods up and a sort of silky looking robe. A fire was ignited and we all started slowly walking away to not get attention through to ourselves. But then they all stared at us. We picked up our pace and then they chased us. We all ran. As I felt tired, I slowly looked behind and saw they were catching up. I told my mates and I slowed down. As I was the fastest, I went to the side by myself. My good mate, who I called George for privacy, followed. We were with a group of girls and a few boys. They didn't realise that we left, but they ran to a local shop. George and I ran on adrenaline and knew where to go without talking. We had several missed calls of our group, but the people were still chasing. We ran to an abandoned building and quickly climbed to the top floor and took cover underneath a desk. I took my phone out of my pocket and turned my brightness down. I called my friends. They told us that they were safe and for us to get to them. We couldn't. We heard multiple footsteps coming to the room we were in. I was scared. We were scared. All of a sudden, an echoing scream came through the building. We heard the boys run out, away, but there was still one guy left in all black. We hid. We tried to keep quiet. My phone vibrated. My heart dropped. Me and my friend jumped out and punched the guy, but it turned out that it was not who we thought it was. A figure almost ghost-like. It stood there as we unleashed our anger. We decided to run to our friends. We still felt scared. Whenever I'm with them friends, I still feel like I'm being watched. Me and George has a fight and I felt like I was being watched. We're friends now, though, and still talk about it.